Can I answer?
That's a very...
Yes, if you start thinking that a 2013 conclusion should have been applied in 93, 94, 2004, yes, then it is right. But I believe that a 2013 conclusion can only and should only be applied prospectively. And therefore, while you can always say, rightly, that you should have had a policy of auctioning in 93. You should have had a policy.
No, sir.
In
93, there was no demand.
Not auctioning. Non-development of coal blocks. No. This point number 8 talks about revenue lost to the exchequer due to non-development of coal blocks.
Sorry. I'm answering Arnab's question. I am saying that, for example, you can say that we believe that for the last 10 years, the policy which has this should have been like this. But you should not say that a loss has occurred.
Sir, where is the sincerity?
Nobody has ever evaluated.
Sir, where is the sincerity? The Ministry of Coal has informed the committee, and I'm reading once again, that they have not conducted any inquiry regarding employees who have retired or taken voluntary retirement from the Ministry of Coal, Coal India, CMP, DIL, and have joined the companies which have been offered coal blocks. This only highlights, Dr. Singhvi, the glaring potential conflict of interest and the government's refusal to conduct an inquiry into this. I'm sorry to say, Dr. Singhvi, is absolutely baffling. Baffling.
Two things. You are now raising a different thing.
No, it is in the report. I'm raising the report.
Arnab, where I believe you may have some resonance, and I may partly agree. The government of India has a clear policy, which is known as the cooling off policy or a cooling off period. Now, I don't know what kind of officers are covered by it, and maybe some
but there's no inquiry. There's no inquiry.
But I entirely agree with you.
There's no
that's
inquiry.
That's a different issue. No, the inquiry was there. There was an inquiry in terms of selection. Committees sat, they evaluated as to whether Arnab Goswami will get the coal or Abhishek Singhvi. That inquiry was there. What you are now saying is something important but different. And that is that when Abhishek Singhvi got the coal, certain members of the government, erstwhile government public sector company, joined.
Sir,
that could be wrong. I believe it is wrong, but there are certain cooling off periods.
My last question, which is very important.
Very important. Transparency was there in allocation.
No, my very important point is, I don't think there was transparency.
There's absolutely no transparency.
Not even in your region.
Not even in your region. There was no demand. I just explained to you.
No.
The allocatees themselves selected the coal block.
No, sir. You have been rebutted by that.
No, that's not true. What the government has told this committee, please read the report.
Sir, you're saying the report is bunkum?
No, I'm not saying that. The government has told this committee, we do not have screening committee minutes, so we cannot give you anything.
No, I have one question.
I'm explaining to you, the screening committee process started only in 2003.
I have one
Before
question.
that, there was to be one or two applicants.
I have one question for you, Abhishek Singhvi. Please take note. I have one last question to the BJP representative tonight. I read from the report, another coal block, Brahmadi in Jharkhand, allocated on 1st 9/1999. You were in power in 1990 to Castron Mining Limited for steel sector, although all milestone reported to be completed, etc., etc. The question is why a coal block was allotted to a company which has failed to set up end-use projects for 13 years needs to be answered.
At that time, they gave a mining plan. They should have cancelled it since 2004. After the 5 years period was over, which you are allowed. Why did they cancel it in the last 9 years?
Dr. Singhvi,
I have a simple answer, Arnab. Yes. I have a simple answer. I condemn an allocation to a proven non-performing company.
Proven now.
But nepotistic. But I will go further, Arnab. I will go further. I would condemn the same kind of allocation if it happened in 2008 or 2006 during Congress rule. Because what you are giving an example is indefensible. Individual cases of culpability.
Arnab, in the 6 years we were in power, the total allocation was 1.39 billion tons to the private sector. In the 4 years, 4 to 8, they have allocated 15.5 billion.
Sir, if that is the case, I have breaking news, Dr. Singhvi. I have just been informed by a legal reporter, Ridham Anand Bhardwaj, that the government affidavit on this matter clarifies that the procedure followed by Coal Ministry was proper and was in accordance with guidelines framed by the ministry. You are saying you accept a mistake, but in court you are going to say something else.
And you see what the CAG said. And you see what the CAG said.
That's not what I said at all. No. 1 minute. 1 minute. What I said was that the example you gave of a 99 allotment is completely condemnable because you are giving coal to a proven non-performing entity for 13 years.
Dr. Singhvi, proven...
if that exact example is duplicated in our period, I would have no hesitation in condemning it.
But Dr.
But where is
Singhvi,
the
the
example?
proven part is after 5 years they failed to do
it. By Ridham Anand Bharadwaj. That affidavit is something else.
No, but Dr. Singhvi, in 99 it was allotted, they had 5 years to implement it. After 2004, it got proven that they have failed to implement. What have you done in the 9 years since then?
You are demanding the Prime Minister's resignation.
We 100% believe the Prime Minister's sincerity was evident in the CAG report. It has been double proved by the standing committee. The government
is this a one-day affair, Tuesday, second day of Parliament, a lot of action. By tomorrow, day after, truce, behind-the-scenes action, the controversy dies down. You will buy peace.
Absolutely no truce. The government stands exposed. They told the standing committee we have no screening committee records.
Right.
They have told the standing committee that we cannot provide you any data, which is why this statement has come in. From 93 to 2003, there was not enough demand. The demand was generated after prices rose.
I will tell you
and then they kept.
I believe in collective wisdom.
Yeah.
I am a great believer in collective wisdom.
Well, the CAG and his five deputies came out with this report.
May I tell you that in the short period that you were a government NDA, there were the following individuals: Dilip Ray, Naveen Patnaik, Rangarajan Kumaramangalam, N.T. Shanmugam, Syed Shahnawaz Hussain, Ramvilas Paswan, Lal Krishna Advani, Uma Bharti, Kariya Munda, Mamta Banerjee, Ravi Shankar Prasad. All held the position of coal minister. All collectively never saw through this lack of transparency in procedure. What are you saying, Piyush Goyal?
Hang on.
Common sense tells you that they must all have seen.
By the way, all of them, so many of them in 6 years, only allocated 1.39 billion tons to the private sector.
By what procedure?
Because there was no demand.
By a non-transparent procedure.
No, by a procedure by which they had to find a coal block, come to the government with a mining plan.
Last word.
Based on that, they were allotted a mine.
Last word to
It is only after 2003 that the prices increased and therefore demand increased as acknowledged by the government of the day.
Last word.
And the funny part of this whole thing is that exactly under the same policy, the same procedure, but with an increasing amount of scrutiny, the successor government kept allocating. And while the BJP finds it fundamentally a watershed moment in 2003 and prior, it finds a different watershed post 2003.
Well, the CAG has already highlighted how there was a difference.
I find it selective. I find it Alice in Wonderland to suggest.
You repeating the same thing, Dr. Singhvi. You used Alice in Wonderland too many times. I suggest we had some better phrases, turn of phrases. You are so good in English. You use some better phrases. This one has become very old.
Absolutely. Selectivity. Another word for this kind of selectivity is opportunism.
It's not selectivity. It's based on your...
It's self-serving selectivity and choosing your own thing.
This selectivity is based on your CAG's report about how you ran the screening committee, about how despite your own insistence to bring in transparency and bring in competitive bidding, for 5 years you slept over that.
I'll tell you,
and surreptitiously handed out 39 billion tons of coal
on this, I don't know. I don't know whether it's obscurantism. I don't know whether it's opportunism. I don't know whether it's obfuscation. We'll debate that later, and we'll quote more literature in the future. Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Piyush Goyal, pleasure debating with you on this issue, which is going to remain a big subject in Parliament, it seems, this week. Thank you, gentlemen.